that was the item in board game news. So we're going to go into crowdfunding corner. For board games, this is usually a longer segment because there's always dozens of games on crowdfunding corner. And so we've got a few here that we're going to go over. First one is called Emerald Skulls. This is a game from Thunderworks Games. Their most popular game is probably Cartographers. And they make all of their games with the same kind of art style. The art style is pretty good. I like it. I didn't love Cartographers, though. I'm very much in the minority on that one. Some people really love it. But this one looks pretty fun. It's a dice rolling game, and you're betting on these dice rolls. Ends July 24th, so you've got a couple of weeks. And I think the game is $20, and shipping is $5. So I thought that was a pretty reasonable price. It's kind of a smaller box, dice rolling game, so it's nothing like too crazy, but pretty good price for that. They also have some cool premium upgrades like these metal gears as opposed to cardboard ones. So yeah, just wanted to give a shout out to that one, even though I haven't been a fan of their games in the past. That is Emerald Skulls. Next up is a game that has cool pieces. Again, I don't know much about it, but it's called Peaks. This campaign goes through July 25th, and in this game you're trying to get the most points by climbing these mountains all over the world. And they say that kind of their unique aspect of your game is you get to what do they call it? You get to it's called a follow mechanism, I think, where you can go along with someone on their kind of hike. And so if you can plan well and see, I think Devin's going to do this, I'm going to put myself in a position so that I can go along with him on his kind of hike. So there's a lot of halfway working together, even though you're all trying to competitively get the most points. I thought the flag pieces are pretty cool. You're putting your flag on the top of these mountains all over the world to show which mountain you've climbed, I believe. And yeah, the game looks pretty as far as the pieces are concerned, in my opinion. And I probably need to look into the gameplay a little more because I'm not 100% sold on that portion yet, but I do like the follow idea. That's a pretty popular thing right now in games, is the follow mechanism. So shout out to Peaks. Next up, there is a game called 20 Strong. 20 Strong has been pretty popular. It has, I think the company is Chip Theory Games, and this is their smallest game by far. They usually make really big games where not all, but most of the pieces are big poker chips. So they come in big boxes and are usually expensive games because they're really nice poker chips. These are very small games where each box, I think, has 20 dice in it, hence the name. And it's kind of a smaller, simpler game that's solo primarily, and you can play in 20 minutes. And they have, I think, 3 different 20 strong versions already. I think their goal is to just release a bunch of different variants. Okay, here's the 20 strong version in this world and in this game world. And they've used some of the game worlds from their other games, and then it kind of tweaks that 20 strong core kind of gameplay. Anyways, this one's called Tanglewoods, which I think is just some new property. I don't think Tanglewoods was a pre-existing property, but it has a few different pledge levels. Oh yeah, you can see there that there's at least 3 other ones. One based on Too Many Bones, Solar Sentinels, and what's it called? Hiplomachus Victorum, something like that, and one next year based on Cloudspire. So yeah, I think there are 3 20 strong boxes in this pledge: white, gold, and red. I haven't played or seen much about these yet, but I know they've been pretty popular lately, so I'm going to check that one out. I think of those 20 strong boxes, I don't think this Tanglewoods set would be the one that I would be interested in. Probably one of the other 3. But if you're into that game, that one is on Gamefound actually until July 26th. Okay. Next up is a game also that is, the campaign runs through July 26th, called Boom Patrol. And it looks like a very silly, like, kind of game that you might play with your kids. But I thought the cool part of this game were these funny little tank pieces, and you like move your tank around, and then it has kind of a dial, what snap, I forget what those are called, piece in the middle that holds the top of the tank on, and the top of the tank will rotate so that you can, I think, move and shoot in different directions, and you make like a little battle arena and line up shots and stuff. I don't think it's a game for me. It looks like if you took like a kid version of something like a war game like Warhammer or something where you're doing measurements between characters and stuff, but then tried to make like a family kid version of it. So I applaud the effort, and I think it looks fun and silly. Don't really think it's for me, but I do think, Devin, if you scroll down, they have a like a deluxe pledge, if I remember correctly, where everything was like holographic. Maybe I'm thinking of the wrong. Oh yeah, those hollow foil tanks.
Oh, fancy.
Yeah, I don't think that's the best looking hollow foil in the world, but maybe the picture's not a good picture. And some plastic pieces and stuff. So if you like a silly good time, or maybe you're really into wargaming and want to, I don't know, help your kids get into it as well, then that might be a starting point. That was Boom Patrol. I thought it looked unique. Okay, two more. Next up is Rise of Babel. This is a game about building the Tower of Babel. And the thing that looked cool to the words looked cool about this game to me, a couple. The artwork is done by Andrew Bosley, who does some of the best artwork. Basically, Ian O'Toole, whose name I said earlier, Andrew Bosley, and Vincent Dutray are like the three artists in the board game space that like get the most, I don't know, love, and their art is used like most often. So the art looks really awesome. And then as far as like the gameplay is concerned, you are using like your elephant to pull your cart and take as many pieces as you can to the tower. And then those, as you build the tower, once all of the, I guess, blocks on that layer of the tower are complete, it looked like you like plop a new piece of cardboard on top of that and then start another layer. So you're kind of like building these layers on top of layers of this tower. I haven't looked too much into the mechanisms or how the gameplay like flows, but I thought it had a cool vibe, and that idea of kind of building a stacking tower could be cool if like the moment to moment gameplay looks pretty cool. Yeah, I think if you scroll down just a little bit more, Devin, it will show a GIF of move your element or elephant, finish the level, and score. I think those are supposed to be moving. I don't know why they're not moving. Oh, there we go.
Here we go.
So yeah, you like move your elephant up, put some stuff in there, and then the one beneath it will show like it stacks. So I don't know. Need to look into that one a little bit more, but it's got a bit of a buzz, a lot of previews from board game YouTubers and stuff on that page. So I think it's I think people are excited about it. All right, and last up is a game by Plaid Hat Games, whose games I haven't played one of their games, but their games are very like story heavy, like usually have like an app that you can play them with, or like a booklet, and you'll read like story beats as you go kind of along this story. I think there are two more recent games that are in this, they're calling it the Crossroads kind of a collection, are Forgotten Waters and Freelancers, which I think a lot of people liked, but this is their newest one. It's called Wandering Galaxy. And yeah, it's a cooperative game, I believe, set in space. So kind of, and it looked like it had a similar vibe, just instead of Freelancers, which is kind of fantasy, Forgotten Waters is kind of pirates. This one looked like it was kind of a space version of that. You make your own character and just kind of go through this story campaign with the other players. So yeah, I haven't played one of their games, so I'm not the best person to talk about it. Again, games like this that are really story heavy or cooperative are tricky for me. But I wouldn't be against playing one of them to just see if I vibe with it or not. Anyways, that's Wandering Galaxy. Wanted to give it a shout out. Okay, Devin, before we do the last call here on Crowdfunding Corner, which of those 6 games, again, just based on the Kickstarter page and the cover and the words I said, is the Devin pick of the week?
Oh, that's tough. It's between Emerald Skulls, Tanglewoods, and Rise of Babel.
Okay. Yeah. I can see that. Those ones, they all look good. Those 3 probably have the strongest art of the other games, in my opinion. So yeah, cool.
I do like my art.
Ones, I do as well. I'm a sucker for good components and good artwork. Yeah, of the games there, I don't know. I'm interested in how Peaks plays because it has a cool a world map with the flags and the mountains you're climbing, and Rise of Babel as well. But probably 20 strong, just because I want to try that solo game that's supposed to play pretty quickly. But yeah, I'm not sure. None of those is screaming at me this week, but a couple of them look solid. All right, last call on 2 games here. Wanted to give a shout out to Deep Regrets. It's actually doing very well on here. It's in the BGG hotness list, which is impressive for a game kind of made by a tiny team. And yeah, just another shout out. We talked about this game last week. Very cool, I don't even know, Lovecraftian art, creepy eldritch creatures down in the ocean, and you're fishing for these fish cards, trying to decide how deep you want to fish and how many regrets you take to see if you go insane or not. And it looks like a fun game. I am backing this one. I hope that it I hope the gameplay is solid. So yeah, I don't know. I think it looks pretty good. And then the other one I think also looks good, but I if I didn't already have Root and a couple other games like this, I think last week, I called it kind of like a mix of Fractured Sky and Root. If I didn't have both of those games, this one would be intriguing to me, because you're kind of fighting. The whole shtick of this game is you don't always want to win every fight. You have to decide okay, it's best for me to yield in this fight, hence the name of the game being Yield, and kind of cut your losses and just come back to fight another day. And it has these cool dials where you are hiding how many troops that you were kind of sending with one of your 3 leaders. And so it seems like a big kind of a reveal when you do the fights to determine who has the most troops with them. Again, kind of Fractured Sky vibes there. So I don't know. I think it looks really good, but yeah, I don't think I'm going to back this one, unfortunately. But it ends on the 19th, so you got 9 more days for Yield.